Welcome back to week 2, Science with Miss Mac. Take a look at these images. I see a rhino, a manatee, an iguana, bald eagle. Now I want you to think of this question. What do you think it means to make a comeback? What do you think it means to make a comeback? Well, to make a comeback could mean to rebound or be successful again. I highlighted that prefix re and its meaning, again, just as a reminder to use our prefixes when determining word meanings. An example of a comeback could be you're at a basketball game and your team is losing, but you make the comeback to win. Somebody starts making all those baskets and boom, you were down, now you're up, you came back to win it. Now, what does a basketball example have anything to do with our animals up here? Well, our animals up here are part of our wildlife population. Wildlife populations can lose a lot of their numbers and need help making comebacks too. Today, we will be learning about some animals that have rebounded from low populations. Now we'll watch a short video titled Meet Marine Mammals. And while we are watching that video, during it, I would like for you to think about the following questions. What are some things that have caused a decline in marine mammals population? And what has caused some marine mammals to come back? Okay, so now we're going to get ready to watch our video.
Meet marine mammals. Marine mammals live all over the world. You can find them swimming deep in the ocean or splashing around near the shore. These warm-blooded animals depend on the ocean to survive. Some marine mammals, like whales and dolphins, spend most of their lives underwater. Others spend part of their lives on land. For example, sea lions hang out on the beach while they're raising their pups. Many seals also spend time on land. But they are much more graceful in the ocean. Though they can be great swimmers, ocean mammals are not fish. They don't have gills like fish do, so they can't breathe underwater. They need to swim to the surface to breathe air into their lungs. Many of these creatures have a thick layer of blubber or fat that keeps them warm in the cold oceans. Scientists divide marine mammals into 4 groups: pinnipeds, cetaceans, sirenians, and marine fiscipeds. Pinnipeds include seals, sea lions, and walruses. Pinnipeds have 4 fins, or flippers. Sea lions can use their back flippers to walk on land. Whales, dolphins, and porpoises are known as cetaceans. This group includes the largest marine mammal, the blue whale. Some grow to be longer than 2 school buses put together. Sirenians include creatures called dugongs, as well as manatees, also known as sea cows. Manatees can grow up to be 1,200 pounds and eat mostly seagrass and algae. Marine fiscipeds spend most of their lives on land, unlike the other groups of marine mammals. They enter the water mainly to hunt for food. This group includes polar bears and the smallest marine mammals, sea otters. Many marine mammals are considered endangered. They face some big threats like illegal hunting and fishing. Also, humans have destroyed and polluted large parts of their habitats. In 1972, Congress passed the Marine Mammal Protection Act. The law aims to stop people from hunting, killing, injuring, or harassing any ocean mammals. Thanks to the law, some species have been making a major comeback.
Okay, so now I want us to answer those two think about it questions while we were watching. So what are some things that have caused declines in marine mammals? Go ahead and take a second and think about that. I saw in the video pollution was an example, and overfishing by fishermen. They fish too much, which causes a lot of our animals to become endangered. What about what has caused some marine mammals to come back? So what are some of the things that are happening that are having a positive effect on these endangered animals? Well, people passed laws to help the animals, and pollution and overfishing were reduced. So those are just some of the details that we got our brains thinking about while watching our intro video. Now we will read the article Comeback Creatures. Let me get that open for us. Nope, that's for after. All right, here is our Comeback Creatures article. Miss Mac's going to read this to you. So bear with me, as you normally do. Okay. All right. We're going to read this article, Comeback Creatures, so that afterwards we can analyze the causes of changes in animal population. After reading, we will test our knowledge of these causes and of the text, Comeback Creatures. So pay attention. Okay. Comeback creatures. These animals almost died out completely, but then people stepped in to help. Earth is home to a huge variety of animals, from giant rhinos to tiny winged insects, but more than 8,000 species are endangered and could become extinct. Unfortunately, humans are their biggest problem. People hunt animals for food and body parts and destroy their habitats to build roads, farms, and homes. The good news is many people are also trying to help animals. They're moving them to protected areas, breeding them, and bringing back their habitats. Read on to meet 5 animals that people have rescued from almost dying out. With a little help from humans, these endangered populations have bounced back. And the author of this article is Mara Grunbaum. Okay. New forest burnet. This red speckled... Oh, sorry. Let me zoom out so I can continue reading. There we go. This red-speckled moth, called the New Forest Burnet, once fluttered around several areas of Great Britain, but over decades, people built cities and roads on their habitat. Many were also plucked from the wild by insect collectors. By the late 1980s, British scientists feared that moths were gone. Then researchers found 12 new forest burnets in a patch of grass along a seaside cliff. They were the last of their kind known to exist on the island of Great Britain. The moths lay eggs in tall grass, but sheep had eaten the grass near the cliff, making it hard for them to reproduce. After the moths were found, scientists built a fence to keep the sheep out. As the grass grew, the moth populations swelled to the thousands. Our caption, new forest burnets are pollinators, animals that help some plants reproduce. Here's a picture of the new forest burnet. Our next animal is the Florida manatee. These days, when boaters enter Kings Bay in western Florida, they have to reduce their speed. Slowing down makes them less likely to hit a manatee. These pudgy marine mammals swim in coastal waters around the southeastern U.S. Hunting manatees was outlawed in the 1890s. Still, by the 1970s, there were fewer than 800 left. Boats were a big part of the problem. Their spinning propellers can injure or kill a slow-moving manatee, but new speed limits in the waters where manatees gather have helped the animals avoid collisions, says Jim Valladay of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. The most recent count found more than 8,800 Florida manatees. So you look at the picture here, and the caption showing what these marks are. Based on what we read, I would say that they are probably from a boat. And let's see. The scars on this manatee were caused by a spinning boat propeller. That's a shame. Okay. The blue iguana. Blue iguanas live in just one place, the island of Grand Cayman in the Caribbean. Over the past several decades, people paved over much of their habitat. They also brought pet cats and dogs, which hunt the reptiles. Blue iguana numbers plummeted. So in 1990, scientists with the Blue Iguana Recovery Program began capturing wild iguanas and breeding them in captivity. They kept the iguanas' eggs warm to help them hatch. Scientists raised the babies until they were mature. Then they released the iguanas into protected parts of the island. Today, an estimated 750 blue iguanas roam Grand Cayman. That's up from just 25 of the reptiles in 2002. This blue iguana hatchling was born thanks to a breeding program in Grand Cayman. Alright, our fourth animal, the bald eagle. Bald eagles are the national symbol of the United States. But in the 1960s, they nearly became extinct across much of the country. The main culprit was DDT, a chemical that farmers used to kill pests on crops. When eagles ate animals that had eaten DDT, the chemical weakened their eggshells. As a result, their chicks didn't survive. The population was in free fall, says Brian Watts, a bird biologist in Virginia. In 1963, only 487 eagle pairs were nesting in the continental U.S. After DDT was banned in 1972, bald eagles slowly started to recover. Now scientists think more than 10,000 pairs nest in trees from California to Florida to Maine. Biologist Brian Watts prepares to release a bald eagle fitted with a tracking device into the wild. Okay, and our last animal in this article is the southern white rhino. Southern white rhinos live in southern Africa, but by the early 1900s, people had killed all but about 100 of them. Hunting them is now illegal, but poachers still kill rhinos for their horns, which are used in some traditional medicines. The closer rhinos live to people, the more at risk they are. That's why 60 years ago, conservation groups began moving the animals to remote and protected areas in countries like Botswana and Zambia. Often, scientists first remove the rhino's horns to prevent them from being targeted by poachers. They use medicine to calm the rhinos before transporting them by helicopter or truck. Thanks to these efforts, there are 18,000 of the animals today. They are the only rhino species not at risk of extinction. Look at that. Workers prepare to transport this rhino after removing its horn to keep it safe. Okay, so that's the end of our article. And remember, I said after we read it, we were going to test our knowledge about what we read. So let's get to that part now. Is this it? Nope. Here it is. Nope. Here it is. Okay. No sweat bubble test. So what I would like for you to do is ignore that message. Okay, what I'd like for us to do now is you can, on a sheet of paper, write down the answers from numbers 1 through 10. So label your paper 1 to 10. After you can read each question and each multiple choice response and select the best answer, record the best answer next to the number. You can submit that at the bottom of this video in the comments section, or you may record your answers and then submit them on Class Dojo. So before I go, I'm going to go over this with you really quick. Use the article. Comeback Creatures on pages 4 through 7 to determine the best answer to each question. The best answer to each question. Okay, so we have 1 through 10. Number 1, which of the following is a synonym for endangered? Synonym. Similar. Synonym. Similar. What is another word that is similar to the meaning of endangered? Remember, back on pages 4 and 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you will find the meaning of the word endangered. What is the best answer for a synonym for endangered? Number 2, speed limits in waters where Florida manatees live have decreased the number of manatees struck by boats. Which statement best explains why this happened? Best explains why this happened. Number 3, in the late 1980s, researchers found 12 new forest burnets, the last of their kind known to exist in Great Britain. This insect is an example of... Number 4, the population of the blue iguana was once 25 individuals and is now 750 individuals. Therefore, the population... Number 5, U.S. farmers once used DDT to kill insects. What were the insects most likely doing? Back in the bald eagle section, we learned about DDT and its effect on the bald eagle. Number 6, poachers illegally hunt rhinos to remove and sell their... What did they want those rhinos for? Number 7, conservationists have transported many southern white rhinos to remote areas. What does remote mean as it is used in this phrase? And no, it does not mean the television remote. Good thing that's not a choice. Number 8, which of the following is an example of an organism in its habitat? Number 9, which sentence from the article shows a cause and effect relationship? A cause and effect relationship. So something happened, and due to this happening, there was an effect. So which one of those shows a cause and effect relationship? And number 10, which would make the best alternate title for this article? So what's another title from these 4 choices that could be switched out from the current title and still make sense? All right, boys and girls, I know I read those questions very, very quickly. As always, I need for you to go back into the text to help you determine the best answer to each of these questions. So for you to do that, I'm going to need for you to pause this video and rewind to pages 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can pause it and reread it yourself. You can rewind and listen to me reread it again if you'd like. Do whatever it is you need to do to help you understand the content of this text. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend, a great Easter holiday, and I will be seeing you shortly for another fun, fast science and experiment. Sorry, the baby was making a noise. Okay, so I will see you then. Bye.